Hello chess lovers, welcome to our channel Chess Sunny. Today we will see an interesting game between Vishwanathan Anand and Van Forrest Jorden, who are playing in the tournament Grand Chess Tour Rapid, which is going to held in Croatia. So Vishy is white here and Van Forrest Jorden is playing, and Vishy is playing after 16 months on the chessboard. So it's good to see a win here. So let's start. E4 c5. This is a Sicilian opening. Knight f3 e6, d4 c into d4, knight into d4, and now this variation is known as Sicilian timer. Now knight to c3, queen c7. The purpose of queen c7 is to control this e5 square in general. Now g4. Before, a game between Nepomuceni and Caruana Fabiano has been played in this opening. So after a6, bishop to e3, and now this is totally a new structure. Knight into d4, queen into d4, and b5. Now black is trying to attack on the queen side, and generally white is going to do long castle and start English attack. So long castles, bishop to b7, and now king to b1. The purpose of king to b1 is to save the king and to remove from this deadly diagonal, deadly file. So knight f6, f3, rook to c8, and now g5. And here white has slight advantage because white's king is safe and black's king is in the center, and white is first to attack. So knight to h5, and now very powerful move by Vishwanathan Anand is queen to d2. This queen to d2 is stopping the knight to come on f4. Bishop to e7. In general, bishop to b4 was good move, and bishop to e7 is very passive here. And now very strong move again by Vishwanathan Anand is bishop to h3. If someday this diagonal opens, it's good for white. So b4, knight to e2, and now d5. But now it's not good to take the pawn on d5. So first bishop to g4, and now this knight is trapped somewhere. So g6 is the only move to protect this, and now bishop to d4, and now this diagonal is so strong for white. So castles is the only move. Rook g8 was also playable, but it was very difficult to play on the board. So castles, and again a very beautiful and interesting and dynamic move by Vishwanathan Anand is e5. So this e5 is stronging this f6 square. Also this diagonal is now switched off. So knight to g7, and now this position is totally winning for white because white has easy plan h4, h5, take the pawn, somehow play knight to g3, queen to s2, and to attack here. And black doesn't have any direct attack here because this bishop is doing nothing and these pawns are so slow. So h4, a5, h5, and in the pawn race white is going to win because he is first to attack, and now white has winning position because after bishop to a6, knight to g3, now this pawn is going to take this one and queen will jump here and ready to attack. So now only move to attack to the white's king, and now here h into g6 was also possible and was the best move here. After h into g6, if h into g6, then queen s2, knight h5 to stop mate, and after knight into h5, game over. And if f into g6, then now f4, because after b3, the move c3 is stopping black's attack, because after b into a2 check, king to a1, and after a3 the move b4 is stopping black's attack, and white is totally fine here and is going to attack very soon. So this was the move that Anand overlooked, and he played f4. And after b3 the best move was to play c3, as we discussed earlier, but Vishy played c into b3, and now the position is in the favor of black little somehow, because after queen to b7, now the black is first to attack to the white's king, and now black's king is safe. But when Forrest Jorden missed and he played knight to f5, which was a very bad move, and Anand played here bishop into f5. Here after h into g6, bishop into f5, and now queen s2, and this position is also totally winning for white, and suicidal move by black is queen to c2. So here Vishy played bishop into f5, which was also good but not sound practically. And now g6, and here also a move like queen b7 was good for black, but he missed that move because black was in time trouble. And after f into g6, h into g6, h into g6, and now queen s2, king f7. Here the position is also equal, but a beautiful move by Vishwanathan Anand, because it's a blunder. But when Forrest Jorden was in time travel, so he didn't calculate well and he missed the winning move here for black. Can you find the winning move here for black? Yes, the move is this, rook to h8, because after rook to h8 the force move is knight to d6 check, bishop into d6, into d6, intermediate move bishop to d3 check, rook into d3, and now rook into h2, and if rook into h2, then queen c1 check, king to a2, rook to a8 check, bishop a7, and there is a checkmate. And after rook to h2, if d into c7, then rook into h1 check, king to c2, and rook into c7 check. And this position is winning for black, because black has two rooks and white has only one rook and bishop. So he totally overlooked this move, rook to h8, and he played a mistake, e into f5. And after that Vishy finished the game in the style, after queen to h7 check, king to e6, queen into g6, it's all calculated, bishop to f6, and now bishop to c3. Very beautiful move to stop this deadly check. And after queen to g7, rook h6, queen into g6, rook into g6, bishop e2, rook to d2, bishop to f3, and now b4, rook c4, rook to d4, exchanging the rooks, rook to c7, king c1, rook g7, rook into f6, rook into f6, into f6, rook to b7, and these passed pawns are very dangerous and totally winning for black. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Please subscribe our channel, Chess Journey.